Sorry about technical difficulties we were experiencing. You haven't missed much. The Cardinals down 13-4. Really good offensive possessions early on from the Eagles. Not so much from the Cardinals. Taggart with a nice block there, though. Cam Wood loses it. The Cardinals as a whole, I think, are just working too fast. Every time they get a defensive rebound, which has not been as often as they would have liked, they really try to push it and take advantage of the Eagles. And so far, McDonough's done a great job getting back on defense. Under 2 to go in this first quarter. Again, the Cardinal buckets. Tough shot from Bazell and a play and bracing some contact from Brendan Johnson. And the Eagles have been red hot from 3. Not that time, though. Kendall, no good. The Eagles hit their first 3 shots from behind the arc. Exenor, Fields, and Marcus Williams. And I said early on, if the bigs can start to hit those threes from McDonogh, the Cardinals are going to be in trouble. Bazell goes baseline. Layup no good. Tip no good. Ball still loose. Hits the deck. That'll be a jump ball. Cardinals will get it. It should be. And it will be. Jump ball. Cardinals retain possession. And they will get a fresh 20 to show for it. And if you're just joining us, on the floor for the Cardinals, it's Wood, Hammond, Taggart, Johnson, and Bazell. Wood looks to inbound. Gets it up top to Johnson. Slashes. Good block from Rob Fields. Eagles come down with the rebounds. That's what Fields does. Really lanky 6'8" forward. He's got several D1 offers. UMBC, Towson, American, Navy, just to name a few. And that's just in the Maryland area. If he can start to get his name out nationally, he's going to get a lot more. Hopkins drives. Good feed to Ferguson, who had 3 Cardinals jump with him. And he's going to go to the line. They'll get Asai Hammond for the foul. And so Ferguson, the 6'6" freshman, will shoot 2. 44 seconds to go in this first quarter. In and out, no good for Ferguson. Andre Moore will now enter. Cam Wood thought he was leaving, but instead it's Asai Hammond. Just picked up his first foul. On the floor for the Eagles right now, B.J. Hopkins, Rob Fields, Andrew Caston, Carlos Ferguson, who just hit the free throw, and Ashton Kendall. Cardinals get it in. 40 seconds to go. Coach yelling out JT's name. JT comes up, sets a screen, free throw jumper. Little off. Wood can't get the rebounds. Eagles looking to push. Nice find. Blocked by Brendan Johnson. Kendall made a nice pass to Caston. Bazell behind his back. Rob Fields returns the favor on the other end, and the Eagles will get it. Exciting sequence here early in this first quarter. Johnson, nice block on Andrew Caston, only for Rob Fields to return the favor to Tug Bazell after a nice behind-the-back move. But after all that, there's 15 seconds left. Now 7. Eagles will hold for the last shot. Kendall pulls up, no good. Taggart, offensive rebound. Bazell working, fires. Would have been good if it goes, but off too high of the backboard. And so after this first quarter, the score, Eagles 14, Cardinals 4. Really a miserable first half for the Cardinals on the offensive side of the ball. And not terrible defense. Just Eagles had 11 points really quickly. Probably about 4 minutes into the game, but they've been good in limiting the damage. Both teams kind of went cold for the last 3 or so minutes of that first quarter. And we had some technical difficulties to open this quarter. We got a working mic. Thank you, Miss Darby, for hustling and getting that mic for me. I'm happy to be with you guys tonight. Again, my name is Peter Kelly, coming to you live from beautiful Alumni Memorial Gymnasium here in scenic Towson, Maryland. Got a nice student section in attendance. Cardinal Crazies game. Chance to earn points for your house. So it's a nice turnout. 5 for the Cardinals, Johnson, Bazell, Garrison for the first time tonight, Moore and Taggart. Johnson and Bazell, the only starters that remain on the floor, and they will remain on the floor for most likely the entire night. They don't seem to get much of a rest, but the Cardinals' two best players, so you can't really justify resting them. Hopkins working. Kendall, wide open three. No good, little to the right. Taggart, nice strong board. Now Bazell comes the other way with it. One-on-one with Caston. Now we'll pull it back out. No one can get open for Bazell. Out to Garrison, thought about the three. Good defense from Kendall. 10 on the shot clock. Taggart tried to set a screen. Now Bazell will take another deep three. Short on that one too. Just not a great shot from Bazell. I don't know if we were live for the first one or no, but he took it from about the same spot, maybe even farther, and just hit the net, didn't even hit the rim. It was an air ball, he didn't swish it. But yeah, Bazell, he's really important to the Cardinals. Really big for him to find that three-point shooting stroke early on. So I can see why he's taking them, but it might be just a little out of his range. 5 on the shot clock. Ferguson has to force it, in and out. Fields gets the offensive rebound. They're going to call Brendan Johnson for the foul. It's an interesting call. I kind of thought Rob Fields was kind of hooking him. I guess it was the other way around. Checking in, we'll see James Foster for the first time tonight. Bazell will check out as soon as I said he's played most of every game. Still working back from that fractured foot he had. Taggart gets a hand on that. Not going to be easy to get it by him. This lineup, much like the Cardinals lineup we saw in the first game against McDonogh, where they did not have Bazell. That's rely on Johnson and some timely buckets from Latoga. Kendall over to Hopkins. Caston drives. 2 on him. He's got nowhere to go. Now Ferguson forces it. Good bucket. Tough finish from Carlos Ferguson, only a freshman. Already 6'6" and getting buckets like that. Now he's playing good defense on Johnson. They're going to get him for the trip. Yeah, he was on the ground. Nothing he could really do. Diving for a loose ball, and Johnson just tripped over him. 6:26 to go in this first half. Cardinals still only have 4 points. Inside to Johnson, wasting no time. Airball the shot, but they're going to get Ferguson for the foul. Johnson is shooting too. Johnson does get to the foul line a whole lot, but as we saw in the game against Goretti, he's got to hit the foul shots. And in the game against Goretti, really one of the main reasons we lost the game was just Johnson and Bazell weren't hitting their free throws. He hits this one though. He spent some extra time in the gym working on those. Knocks the first one down. It's Exenor back in. Ferguson will get a break. Two for 2 from Brendan Johnson. Averaging about 26 points a game this year. He's got 4 tonight. Searching for that first team All-MLA and first team All-BCL. Fields working against Foster. Nice job from James Foster to stick his hand in there. Hopkins had nowhere to go with it. Good defense from Moore. Garrison gets the takeaway. That might have been a frustration foul from Fields. Never a good idea to reach in on someone that's going to get by you anyways. Refs are going to call it every time. Fields has got to stay out of foul trouble. He's the heart and soul of this McDonogh team. Maybe the highlight of this year for Fields was an 18-point, 19-rebound performance to take down the Dons. Under 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. A lot of ball movement beyond the three-point line. Now they feed Taggart. Going to work against Fields. Going up strong. They're going to get him for the walk. Strong finish. Went up strong against the fellow 6'8" junior, but they'll say he shuffled his feet down low. Eagles will get it back. Cardinals working in a 2-3 zone. They feed Fields, who found the hole in the zone. Nice little jumper is good. That's going to be there all night for Rob Fields. If he can just pick apart this zone defense, find holes in it, he's a really effective scorer from everywhere. We saw earlier, even behind the three-point line. Moore drives, throws it to JT. Nice acrobatic pass, but JT loses it. All the way to Exenor, goes up strong, and he finishes. Coach Neal calls timeout, not happy with what he's seeing. And it's really justified. Cardinals not looking good at all in this first 11 minutes of game time. 20-6 is the score at the moment. Nothing like we've seen at all this year against McDonogh from the Cardinals, and nothing like we've seen really in recent memory against McDonogh. The Eagles have lost their last 6 to the Cardinals, haven't won in over 4 years. The last win came January 18th of 2020. Took home an 18-point victory. But this is definitely their biggest chance to win against the Cardinals in years. They've geared up. They've had some young talent come up through the system, and they're looking better than ever. So now Bazell re-enters. Bazell, Garrison, Johnson, Asaya Hammond, and Andre Moore. Garrison fires a three. No, he doesn't. It's blocked by Exenor. Exenor got his whole palm on that, showing the athleticism. Fields, way too strong. Bazell coming the other way. Off the backboard, no good. Garrison, offensive board, and the Cardinals will retain possession. I'll slow it down. I know I said earlier that you want to let the possessions develop, but when you're down 14, you've only scored 6 points. You want to move a little bit quicker, and that's what Bazell does here. Slashes, embraces the contact, gets 2 more for the Cardinals. There's Coupland, feeds Exenor inside, way short on a little turnaround hook. Now Bazell, snatch, gets past everyone, wide open Garrison, back iron. Garrison struggled all year, hasn't really been hitting the threes like we've known him. Inside to Fields, no one was on him directly, but they'll get him for 3 seconds. I guess he caught that ball. One of his feet was inside the key, and he just drove, and the last of whatever time he had left dripped away. 3:30 to go in this half. Imagine Coach Neal would just like to go to the locker room already and regroup. Johnson. A lot of contact from Exenor. No whistle, but he puts it in regardless. Johnson, one of the best guards in the conference. Showing you why. Inside to Fields. Going to work. Hopkins, forward on the line. Or excuse me, that's Marcus Williams. Missed it anyways, but got the top of the backboard while it was at it. We're going to get a timeout here from Gerald Abrams. Upset with something there. The Eagles' lead is still 10. However, they haven't scored in a couple minutes. Cardinals defense showing signs of life. The man who I assume is Gerald Abrams. They're not wearing name tags on the sideline, but he's looking very angry with his players right now. Everyone in that huddle is hearing it. I'm all the way up here, and I can hear it. Coming out of that timeout, just to remind you, Cardinals have a lot of really important games coming up down the stretch. Starts this Friday at home against Gilman. That's going to be an electric atmosphere all night long. Going to be a lot of students there. Going to be a lot of people there taking on Gilman. MIA matchup. The Cardinals need to start putting together wins. currently sit 5th out of 6 teams in the MIAA Red Division, and only the top 4 will make the playoffs. So they better start winning. They better start winning fast. Bad pass from Hammonds. Exeter takes it away. 2-on-1. Fields lays it in. Thought he was going to slam it home, but decided against it. Lead back up to 12. Bazell, nowhere to go with it. Now Johnson works baseline. Stop and pop jumper. In and out. Headed to the line for 2, though. After this first shot, we'll see JT Taggart re-enter. Johnson hits the first. He's got 7 of the Cardinals' 11. .220 to go. No good. 3 for 4 on the night from the line for Brendan Johnson. The foul was on Coupland. That's his first. Inside to Exenor. Moore tried to deny him, but it still gets to him. Now Exenor gets it back. Acrobatic finish from Jeff Exenor. Exenor really impressive on the hardwood, but even better on the gridiron. 4-star athlete in the class of 2025, ranked 158th in the country on the ESPN 300. Bazell, no one followed him. He puts it in for an easy 2. 24-13. Cardinals starting to find their groove on offense. Outside to Fields. All the way inside to Exenor, puts it in. No one even noticed him. He cuts to the basket. Closest was Bazell, but he's able to put it in. Meantime, Brendan Johnson sent back to the line. Nothing's come easy for the Cardinals tonight. A lot of their shots have been contested just like that. Johnson's making his 3rd trip to the line, and he'll shoot 2 more. .118 to go. Hits the first. See Coupland exit. Back in is Caston. Johnson 2 for 2. After the Goretti game, making free throws were probably a priority to him, and you can tell he's been putting in that work. Sank 5 of 6 tonight. Keep the Cardinals in it for the moment. Kendall. Good defense. Over to Exenor. Drives baseline. Too strong. Good defense from Johnson, and Taggart as well helping out. Johnson will take it all the way. Layup right over the outstretched hand of Exenor and in. The lead is down to 9. Brendan Johnson and the Cardinals starting to get some good offensive possessions, taking advantage of the numbers when they have it and pulling back out when they don't. Rob Fields, guarded by Taggart. Cardinals have switched to a man, it looks like. Rejected by Taggart. JT got up for that one, and it's Cardinal ball. Cardinals picking up that momentum. They'll be able to hold for the last shot before halftime. Fields 6'8". Not a lot of 6'8" guys in this league, but Taggart is one of them. Taggart got up for that block. So 15 on the game clock, shot clock turned off. Cardinals will look to cut this. Johnson will do it himself. Lay all the way and in. McDonogh can't do anything. And so the Cardinals, after scoring just 4 points in the first quarter, are able to come into halftime with just a 7-point deficit. 26-19, your score at the half. McDonogh kind of went ice cold after their hot shooting early on, where Calvert Hall just kept fighting that groove. Brendan Johnson has 13 of the Cardinals' 19 points, including a 5 for 6 performance from the free throw line. 10-minute halftime. We'll take a short break. Seven minutes still to go in halftime. Cardinals find themselves down 7 against the Eagles. Although after that game started out, I don't think Coach Neal could really be hoping for anything better. Not great offensive positions at all in the first 6 or 7 minutes. But Johnson was able to slash and get layups. That's the way you're going to get yourself back in this game if you're Calvert Hall. Although I would like to see the Cardinals get a little bit more than just two-dimensional. Johnson and Bazell the only scorers right now for the Cardinals, and Johnson has 13 of the 19. Bazell has the other 6. So not really a lot of shots taken from everyone else, and obviously no makes for everyone else. If the Cardinals can just develop 1 or 2 other people to kind of take the load off these guys, they're going to be a lot more effective, not only in this game, but down the stretch as well. It's been other people in the past. This year we've seen different guys step up. Andre Moore had 16 points in a game against Patterson. It's been Foster sometimes. He had 12 points against Pilati. JT, a couple times, had 14 on 7 of 8 shooting against Gleno last Friday. So no matter who it is, Cardinals really just need someone else to step up, and hopefully they can parlay that momentum into more success in the coming games. Cardinals last year went 2-0 against McDonogh, and that game at home was one of the most memorable in my time here at Calvert Hall. 3 overtime win. Cardinals prevailed 78-75 on a night that we honored Mia Zinn. Such a tough loss for this Calvert Hall community. Mia Zinn, daughter of our athletic trainer, Christopher Zinn. It was really a great night for all involved. We got to honor Mia. Both teams were wearing the Mia Strong t-shirts. And the Cardinals battled back and forth with the Eagles. They went down as many as 8 in that third overtime period, but they were able to battle back. And it was Mac Latoga, the current junior, who hit a huge 3 with 20 seconds left to put the Cardinals up for good. Tug Bazell, 30 points in that game, along with Jonah Biggers, who was one guy that was able to take off some of the stress from Johnson and Bazell last year. Biggers had 20 points and 13 rebounds. Definitely one of the highlights of last season and helped the Cardinals get their first winning season since 2015, 19-18. They finished 8-8 in the conference last year, and they have some work to do if they want to get there again. They sit 4-5 in the conference right now. It's good for 5th in the MIAA Red Division. That division is St. Francis, Our Lady of Mount Carmel, McDonogh, Loyola, Calvert Hall, and Pilate. That's the order they're in, I believe. St. Francis and St. Francis and Mount Carmel alone at the top. I don't think we're going to catch them. I don't think Loyola's going to catch them. It's possible McDonogh does, but they both sit atop the conference right now. Loyola and Calvert Hall are both struggling in conference after there was high expectations for both teams coming into this year. McDonogh sitting right around 500 in the conference, I believe. And then Pilate in the cellar. They're 0-8 right now. Coming up, the Cardinals have a lot of games against those teams. We had to mention this home game on Friday against Gilman. But on Sunday at 3, they have a game against Mount Carmel that's going to be pivotal for their playoff hopes. Then they have away at John Carroll on the 5th. Then home Wednesday and Friday, the 7th and the 9th, for 2 of the best teams in the state of Maryland. If the Cardinals can respond well against St. Francis and MSJ, 2 games in 3 days against those teams, if the Cardinals can, those teams are obviously elite, and they've been a presence in the MIAA and in the BCL. But if the Cardinals can put together good showings against those teams, they can close out the season strong with Pilate and Loyola. And the way it's looking, Loyola and Calvert Hall are right now tied. We're right around tied for 4th in that red division. So that last game against Loyola is an absolutely massive game. And it's possible it gets to the point where the Cardinals, it's winning, they're in. But there's no time to worry about that right now. The Cardinals just need to get whatever wins they can get. And to get one today, they're going to need to erase a 7-point deficit at the half and a 12-point deficit from inside the first half. Under 2 to go in this halftime break. This week is Catholic Schools Week. One of our own Christian brothers helps out with the basketball team. Brother Leonard Rhodes celebrated his birthday yesterday. So happy birthday to Brother Len. He's the faithful scorer for the Cardinals right at that front table. He's been a part of this basketball program for as long as he's been here. So big shout out to Brother Len. Celebrated his birthday yesterday. Second half just about to start. We'll take a short break. Cardinals will get the ball to start the third quarter. It'll be Tucker, Bazell, Johnson, Train, and Taggart. For the Eagles, it's Caston, Williams, Coupland, Fields, and McDonogh. 16 more minutes. See who comes out on top. Again, my name is Peter Kelly. Coming to you live from Alumni Memorial Gymnasium. Bazell could have gotten it to Trainham, who was open down low for a second, but instead, Cardinals will get a side out, 11 on the shot clock. Coupland denying Brendan Johnson the ball. Now they get it to Bazell. Fakes the handoff to Tucker. Johnson, mid-range. That's good. Yeah, I feel like I've said it every time I'm on this broadcast, but that mid-range has been automatic for Brendan Johnson this year. In terms of just individual shots in the conference, like a player taking a certain shot, I'm not sure there's anyone better at a single shot than Brendan Johnson is at the mid-range. That's how effective he's been this year. Over to Caston for a three. In and out. Caston hit a huge three against Loyola, but unable to hit that one. And the Cardinals looking to cut even further this 5-point lead. Bazell pulls up and hits it, and all of a sudden it's a one-possession game. The gym is getting loud. McDonogh has not played as well as they did in the first quarter for the last couple minutes. Fields tries a three, back iron, no good. McDonogh almost got the rebound, but he loses out of bounds. Cardinals getting the ball back with a chance to tie this game. Johnson bringing up the court. 6.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Almost turns it over. Now they do turn it over. Good hands from Caston. Fields coming the other way. Goes up strong, absorbs the contact, and lays it in. Leads back to 5. Now Bazell will look to go to work. Draws the double. Now Coupland's just chasing him. Not great defense. Leaves Johnson wide open. No good. Coupland off a screen from Johnson just kind of chased Bazell around, and they had 2 on him. It wasn't a great situation. Fields can't hit a three. Nice rebound, James Trainham. Fields hit his first, but has missed the last couple. 5.5 minutes to go in this quarter. Bazell up strong. Tries to get it in. Good board, James Trainham. Goes up strong. Heads to the line for 2. I think he's upset with himself that he could have put it back in, but nonetheless, a great offensive board from James Trainham. Saw earlier in the game the Cardinals were struggling to get defensive boards. Eagles got a lot of offensive rebounds in that first quarter. But if they can start to get consistent rebounds, the Cardinals, this deficit is going to be cut really quickly. Trainham back iron, no good. James Trainham, the transfer junior, also plays on the football team, one of 4 football players on the team, averaging 3 points and 3 rebounds a game. Hits the second. 28-24. It's Marcus Williams with the ball. Fields hits a high screen. Thought about the three again. Instead, he has to kick it back out. McDonogh, fading jumper, no good. Bazell with the rebound, and he's looking to push. Trying to draw some contact on Williams, but instead, it's out to Tucker. Goes up strong, loses it. Five minutes to go in the third quarter. Williams mid-range, good. Eagles gets a 30. Coach Gerald Abrams all the way out on the court there. The referee had to rein him in a little bit. Bazell with the ball. Now Johnson searching. Bazell tries another deep three. Short again. Rebounds Amir. Can't put it back. We've seen Bazell take three threes tonight. They've all been from that same spot, and they've all been from really deep. it's just a rough shot for anyone. Possibly NBA range. Fields trying to go to work, can't do it. Cardinals with numbers. Tucker going up strong, blocked by Exenor. Massive height advantage there, and Exenor rejected him. Now Coupland can't get it to go. Really getting fast pace. Johnson loses it. They should call the foul, and they do. They'll get Jeff Exenor. Johnson hit the deck hard there. He will be shooting too. You can make a case for that to be called on the floor, but instead Johnson heading back to the free throw line. Looking to cut the lead down to 4. Really a hectic couple minutes of play. Johnson is the first. That'll bring him up to 16 on the night. Both teams going back and forth, trying to get that fast break lay. Neither one could get it. They'll get a rest here. Exenor will come out, as well as Coupland and Williams. Foster enters. Coach Neal calls timeout after Brendan hits the second. He's got 17. The lead is 4. 3.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Cardinals clawing their way back in it. Just like we saw last year, about 11 months ago. Cardinals came down from a huge deficit in the third overtime to win the game. Cardinals have lost 7 of their last 11, so not really playing well at this stage of the year, but they have won 3 of their last 5. Most recent win on Monday night, 42-40 over Curley. Saw a lot of different guys contribute to that game. That was nice to see. Great team win. And then McDonogh, they've won last 4. They've won 4 in a row, looking for their 5th in a row, and they've won 7 of their last 8. So the Eagles very hot coming into tonight. McDonogh has picked up several good wins in the year. They beat Merritt, who's the number 4 team in D.C., by 11. Goretti by 13. And they went into St. Francis, into Baltimore, took home a 14-point win. Ferguson trying to work inside. One of the new entries for the Eagles. Can't do it, though. 10 on the shot clock. Step back 3 from Hopkins. Knocks it down. Big shot from B.J. Hopkins. First 3 since that first couple minutes for McDonogh. Johnson feeds Taggart. Bazell tries a 3, in and out. Ice cold tonight from Tug Bazell from 3. Cardinals haven't hit a 3 yet tonight. Meanwhile, the Eagles have hit 4, and they lead by 7. Hopkins tries another deep one. No good. Johnson pushing it. Bazell, he had Foster in the corner, but instead goes the other side of the court. Elbow jumper. Good! And the foul! Tyron Bazell hits the jumper with the hand in his face, heading to the line to try to tack on one more. And that is on Fields. It's his second. Good. 33-29. Cardinals have gotten it to 4, but that's about as close as they've been. Been there a couple times. Got to stop trading buckets and start locking down on defense. Hopkins slashes. Now over to Fields. They'll get Bazell for the foul. Maybe he got the ball, maybe he didn't, but it's an easy call for the ref. Regardless of whether he gets the ball, not really an attempt to contest the shot. Just kind of went in with both hands and made contact. So 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Fields will shoot 2. It's the first. Rob Fields had 2 double-doubles at Haverford's McBride Classic back in December. He was the tournament MVP. That was good enough to get him Baltimore Sun Player of the Week honors. No good. 1 for 2 from the line for Fields. The lead's up to 5. Bizzell will bring it up court. Hammond has entered. Johnson tries a 3. Knocks it down. Number 1 hits the 3, and the lead is 2. That'll get Johnson to 20 on the night. Ferguson in the corner. You can hear that Cardinal student section getting loud. McDonogh looking confused. Hopkins 3, way too long. But rebound goes to Rob Fields. Puts it up. They'll get him for the travel. Fantastic defense from the Cardinals on that whole possession. Forced an ugly shot from Hopkins. And forced the travel from Fields. Huge turnover from the Eagles. Sets the Cardinals up to try to take this lead. Cross-court pass to Foster. Bizzell. 8 on the shot clock. Foster, nice fake. Oh, they're getting for the travel. Jab step, might have grabbed that back foot. Under a minute to go in the third. So after the Fields walk, Foster gives it right back. The lead at halftime was 7. It's been trimmed to 2. Kendall working. Top of the key three-pointer, no good. Ball loose. Ferguson gets it on the floor. Exeter goes up strong, lays it in. 36-32. Cardinals will hold for the last shot. The last couple of possessions, we've seen the Cardinals give up some costly offensive rebounds. That one extends the lead back to 2 possessions. Over to Foster. Johnson, 1 second, he's got to get a shot up. No good. Cardinals, so we're taking their time, but they didn't have that much time. So at the end of 3, your score 36-32 in favor of the Eagles. Heading into this fourth quarter, we just want to thank everyone that tuned in. Worked through some technical difficulties early on. Now we're starting to find our groove here. The crowd's been great. The students have been great. Cardinals starting to find their rhythm. A lot like that Goretti game. Really low scoring. A lot of good defense being played. The Cardinals were able to get that game to overtime. We'll see if they can do the same here. Or even better, win in regulation. The 5 for the Cardinals. Brendan Johnson, the senior guard. Tug Bizzell, the senior guard. Kyrie Garrison, the junior guard. James Foster, the sophomore guard. And JT Taggart, the junior center. And for the Eagles, it'll be Jeff Exenor, junior forward. BJ Hopkins, the sophomore guard. Ashton Kendall, the senior guard. Gavin Ferguson, the freshman forward. And Rob Fields, the junior center. Cardinals are going to have to really tighten up on defense to try to get back into this game. That's how you do it right there. Taggart looking to run the floor. They'll get Fields reaching in for the foul. That's going to be his 3rd. Good takeaway there. They stripped Exeter. Taggart trying to go coast to coast. Does draw the foul, though. That's a big foul, as it is Rob Fields' 3rd. Johnson will pull from 3. No good, but he is fouled. Heading to the line to shoot 3 big ones. Foul is on Kendall, who will be headed to Coast Guard next year. Johnson shooting 3. Makes the first. Must have heard what I was saying on Sunday about making your free throws. He just took that to heart. Makes the second. And he's got a chance to cut the lead back to 1. The closest it's been all night, aside from the very early stages. Three for 3 from the line. That'll put Johnson at 23 points. Cardinals pressing. Now they'll sag off. It's Garrison guarding the ball. 1 point game. We are in for a good finish here at Alumni Memorial Gymnasium. Ferguson will pull a 3. No good. Rebound, Taggart. Cardinals can take the lead for the first time since the first quarter. Johnson, 3-pointer. No good. Maybe trying to force it there from Brendan Johnson. Under 7 to go. B.J. Hopkins, the sophomore. Can't get past Garrison. Fields thought about it. Thought about it maybe a little too much because he shuffled those feet, and it's coming the other way. Rob Fields, after he made the first 3, has been cold from behind the line tonight, and maybe that caused him to reconsider that shot and in turn move his feet a little bit. Bazell hits the deck. They'll get the foul. Let's see if they call it on. It's a big call. They'll get Ferguson. It's his 3rd foul. Thought we were going to get a Fields for his 4th. It's B.J. Hopkins who comes out. So the Eagles are playing with 2 guys with 3 fouls on the court. Cardinals certainly have 3-point snipers out there, but they don't want to force the 3 here. Fresh 20 on the shot clock. They have all the momentum in the world. Foster tried to drive. Garrison, corner 3. No good. Fields tried to take off, but Taggart shut that down. Marcus Williams turns it over. Went to the rim without really a plan. Johnson all the way. They'll get him for the travel. Did not dribble there, which is always risky if you're catching it on a fast break. Tried to go up in 2 steps, but I guess they'll say he did 3. The gather step rule always becomes a little hazy, especially in that situation. Caston gets the ball, kicks it out to Ferguson. Push shot with the left, no good. Let's see where this ball will go. It'll stay here. 5.5 minutes to go. Coupland re-entering. Gavin Ferguson will check out. Now the 5 starters back in for McDonogh. The Eagles have 3 seconds. They've got to put it up. It's Fields who has to shoot the 3. No good. Way off, but Caston gets the rebound. Andrew Caston in the right place at the right time. That ball just fell right to him. Bail out the Eagles. The foul on the floor goes against Taggart. Only his first. He was in foul trouble against Goretti and eventually fouled out with under 2 minutes to go in that game. Really a huge reason why the Cardinals lost that one. Couldn't shut down Caleb Mbeya, the Gale big man. 5 to go in this game. Andrew Caston going to Fairfield for the cross. Inside to Exenor. Has to shoot it over Taggart. No good. Garrison comes down with it. Pushes it up to Foster. Loses it. And cannot get it back. Maybe working a little too fast there. Now coupling all the way. Fields couldn't put it back. Taggart gets it back. Cardinals should really slow this down. But they're not going to. Johnson takes it. Misses the layup. Now the Eagles want to push it. Chaos in Loveland Memorial. Lob up to Caston, who puts it in. Coach Neal might want to think about a timeout. Really just wild basketball from the Cardinals, who looked so impressive in that third quarter. Foster, corner three, hits it. James Foster, maybe the biggest shot of his young career, ties the game with 4 minutes to go. James Foster hits a huge three. Coupling can't get it to fall. No foul. Cardinals, after the timeout, will have the ball. Coach Neal wants a full timeout. Cardinals tie this game. And it's James Foster, the sophomore, with a huge shot. On a night where the Cardinals have not shot the three well at all, Foster hits the second one of the night. And it is a huge one. James Foster coming into the game, averaged 3.5 points per game. 2 for 19 on the year from three. That's 11%. If you don't want to do that in math. But he does not let that number define him. Hits a huge three. The Cardinals will work right to left to try to get into lead for the first time since 2-0, I believe. I don't remember if we went up 2-0 or down 2-0. Or down 3-0, I don't remember. But the point is they've trailed for essentially all of this game. And now they have a chance to retake that lead. Johnson over to Bazell. Foster didn't shoot that time. Fields would have rejected that. Over to Foster. He could have thought about it there, but instead he drove, and now he turns it over. Not a great decision there. Inside to Exenor. Bazell. They'll call him for the block and the foul. He looked pretty established in that paint. But with 3:15 to go, Exenor will go to the line, shoot one, try to put the Eagles up 3. Jeff Exenor got some offers for football: Michigan, Oregon, Tennessee, Penn State, just to name a few. No good there. The lead stays 2. Cardinals get a much-needed rebound. The offensive board there would have been killer. Foster will pull from 3. In and out. Don't know how that one didn't fall. Hit every part of the rim, but didn't drop. Under 3 to go. Tug Bazell playing with 3 fouls. That foul on Exeter was his 3rd. Blocked by Taggart. It has not fared well tonight for the Eagles when they've gone up against JT. Wide open. Garrison. No good. All the way to Caston. No one got back. Smoked the layup, but Ferguson puts it back. 4-point game. Could have been disastrous for the Eagles, but Ferguson was there with the putback. Johnson, 3-pointer, no. Good board, Garrison. Inside the Taggart. No good. Ball loose. It'll stay here. Not sure what happened. Maybe it was a foul, or I think Caston might have touched it while he was out of bounds. Foster will inbound. Over to Johnson. Baseline jumper, good. Back to a 2-point game. Brandon Johnson's got 25 by my count. It's not even his season average, which is a crazy thing to say. Leads the state of Maryland in scoring according to Max Preps. Carlos Ferguson. They'll get Bazell for the foul before the shot, and that is his 4th foul. Coach Neal has an interesting decision to make. Maybe not as interesting as you might think. If I had to guess, I would say that Bazell's in this game until he fouls out. Or until it ends. So it's Ferguson, the freshman, trying to sink to big free throws, and he hits the first. Both teams with 3 fouls in the quarter, so they both have 1 to give. Really important to box out Exenor and Fields here. No good. That's exactly what JT Taggart does. Cardinals can still tie the game. 43-40. A minute 30 to go. They will get Ferguson for the foul. That is his 4th. Now Brendan Johnson will take it. Garrison didn't even look at the rim. Bazell and the Taggart. Jumper no good. Can't get the putback. Ball still loose, and Fields comes up with it. They'll get Taggart for the foul. The gym is erupting. Looks like from here that he just fell down. Everyone in this gym is yelling about something. And I think they will call Cardinals ball. Oh, that was a confusing sequence. Fields hit the deck hard. And it didn't look like Taggart really pushed him. He just kind of fell. But Johnson will inbound. He's got a chance to set up a possession for the Cardinals to tie this game. Does have to get it in first. Finds Taggart. 1:10 to go. Cardinals down 3. They certainly keep it close, that's for sure. A lot of close games this year for the Cardinals. Johnson will go baseline. Step back. Good. 1-point game. 27 for the kid. .45 seconds. James Foster guarding the ball, one of the Cardinals' best perimeter defenders. This gym is really loud. A lot of guys stomping on the bleachers. Williams takes it all the way. He can't get it to go, but Ferguson gets the board, lays it in. Eagles back up 3. Coach Neal calls time. Cardinals have struggled getting defensive rebounds all night. It's been pretty sporadic, but when it happens, it has been killer. 3 people jumped with Marcus Williams there, and none of them went on the offensive glass, so that ball just fell right to Carlos Ferguson, and he was able to put it in. Ferguson's playing really well tonight. Coach Abrams getting some big minutes from the freshman. So for the Cardinals, it's Johnson with 27, Bazell with 11, everyone else with 4. So it's really been a 2-man show here tonight. And if I had to guess, I would say that there's a quick shot coming here, and it's going to be from Johnson or Bazell. You don't need a 3 here. Still plenty of time. You do have a foul to give. The Eagles do not, so any foul will send the Cardinals to the line. Bazell Johnson pulls a three, hits it! Brendan Johnson, huge shot from the future Warrior. 7 seconds. Cardinals need to tighten up on defense. Ferguson forces it, no good. Putback, no good. Foster rebound, going to overtime. That is what Brendan Johnson does. He has got 30 points, 10 in the final quarter, and the Cardinals come all the way back from 12 points down to get this game into overtime. Absolute scenes here at Alumni Memorial Gymnasium. Should have brought some more water. My throat's starting to hurt. .45 is your score after 32 minutes. Phenomenal game here in Towson. It will be the same five, it looks like. Garrison hasn't shot the best tonight, but he's played really good defense. That's why he's still on the floor. Taggart will jump. And for the Eagles, it's Carlos Ferguson who's given Abrams great minutes. Marcus Williams, Rob Fields, who just won the tip, Jeff Exenor, and Andrew Caston. 4-minute overtime. Cardinals got it to overtime against Goretti, but weren't able to hold on. Brendan Johnson's just been so unbelievably clutch in his time here at Calvert Hall. Sent a Goretti game last year to overtime with a big three. Sent the Spalding game this year to overtime with a big three. Offensive foul. Garrison takes the charge. Jeff Exenor, his second foul. It's going the other way. Student section starting to get loud. Bazell brings it up the court. Looks. Finds Johnson, who drives. Free throw jumper. A little short. Good board from Taggart. Bazell. Nice fake. Over to Taggart. Puts it in! Phenomenal ball movement from the Cardinals. Great find from Bazell to Taggart, who rolls it in. First lead in a long while for the Cardinals. Marcus Williams feeds Exenor. Exenor, air ball. Johnson gets the rebounds. Gonna take as much time as possible. Eagles looked unstoppable in the first half, but they have fallen apart. Seeing their 12-point lead crumble. Bazell turns it over. Trying to find the cutting Foster. Cardinals lead by 2. Overtime in Towson. Cardinals haven't been able to seal it in overtime in a while. Fields no good, gets his rebounds. He's shooting 2. I shouldn't say that. The Cardinals just won in overtime. They beat Glen Elg last Friday, 57-53. But they did lose to Goretti, and they did lose to Spalding in overtime. And they actually lost to Goretti twice in overtime. Fields will shoot 2, and he will not be hearing the ambience of a silent gym. Hits the first. Fields to tie it. Puts it in. Coach Abrams wants time. 2:16 to go. 47 all is your score. Taggart has the bucket in overtime for the Cardinals, and Rob Fields sinks 2 free throws to tie that game. Coach Neal, the NBA veteran, talking it over with his team. Part of the all-rookie first team in 2011. 7 years in the NBA, most notably for the Spurs. Looks like the 5 will be the same. 2:16 on the clock. Well, if you're just joining us, you have missed a lot. Fantastic game here in Towson. Cardinals clawed back from a 12-point deficit to tie the game. Brendan Johnson had a huge 3 to send it to overtime. Halfway through this overtime period, Johnson on the baseline, nowhere to go. Working against Exenor. Now Bazell, jump stop, thought about the 3. 10 on the shot clock. JT, 3-pointer. Air ball, that's not a great shot. Under 2 to go. Tiger did have space, but didn't get enough on it. Fields now wants to go to work. No good. Might have been some contact there, but no call. Minute 30 to go. Cardinals can go up 2 here. They'll get Taggart for the moving screen. Not a lot of move on that screen. But it is a turnover for the Cardinals, and a crucial one. I think oftentimes when the ref sees that high screen, they want to call a moving screen just because they're so far out. But Taggart looked pretty set there. Even if he wasn't, a lot of times when it's dubious, they often let the offensive player have the benefit of the doubt. No such luck. Creeping up to the 1-minute mark. 9 on the shot clock. They'll get 3 seconds. So after the Cardinals turn over, Rob Fields gets called for 3 seconds, and the Cardinals will get it right back with 62 seconds to go. Johnson will get it. He was not letting that one get to Foster. He said, no way are you getting the ball. Snatched that out of the air. Under a minute to go. Bazell comes up to set a screen. Now Johnson cuts all the way to the rim. No good. Can't get the lay to fall. That's really all you can hope for. It's a great shot. Johnson's converted on that time and time again, but couldn't get it here. Just 4 total points scored in overtime. 30 seconds. Williams, Fields will shoot the 3. No good. Hits the deck. Might just fell over. Rebound Ferguson. Forces it up. No good. Rebound Exenor. Up and in. Coach Neal wants timeout. They finally give it to him. Just offensive rebounds. On Sunday, it was free throw shooting. Free throw shooting was the killer. And today, it's been cleaning up the defensive glass. Cardinals have just not been able to when it matters. 2 offensive rebounds. And Exenor gets it back, lays it in. Definitely some stuff to improve on. A lot of guys go up to contest the shot. Not enough, stay back and hit the defensive glass. Cardinals will have 12 seconds. It's almost exactly like the Spalding game. Johnson hit the 3 to send it to overtime. And then they were down 2 with about the same amount of time left. And they missed the tying shot. .12 seconds. We'll see if the Cardinals decide to shoot a 2 or a 3. My guess is they'll just take the best available shot. Personally, if you're at home, I think you play for the tie, live to see another day. That's what happened last year. Got it to 3 overtimes, and the Eagles just ran out of steam. Fans yelling here at Old Lyman Memorial Gymnasium, do not let Brendan Johnson get the ball. They're screaming it. They're begging it. They want him to be doubled. It's Bizzell with the ball. 3 seconds. Foster from the corner. Knocks it down! Cardinals win it in overtime. James Foster is your hero. What a win from the Cardinals. Come all the way back, taking it overtime. Only 4 3-pointers all night. But they hit it when it matters. What a play call from Coach Neal. Everyone in this gym was expecting Bizzell or Johnson to take that shot. And it leaves James Foster, the sophomore, coming off the bench, who's played great defense all year but hasn't really scored that much. 2 of 19 on the year, coming in from 3. He finds himself wide open in the corner. And with ice in his veins, puts the nail in the coffin for the Eagles. Absolutely brutal loss for McDonogh. After that first and second quarter, they just couldn't keep up the hot shooting. So they will drop to 14-6, 6-4 in the conference. And the Cardinals will rise to 12-15 and pull to even 500 in the conference. And that will be good to pull them above Loyola, so they sit in that 4th spot. What a game tonight in Towson. James Foster, your hero. Yeah, thank you guys for listening, tuning in. It's really appreciated. Glad you all saw that great game. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Stay safe, everyone. Stay safe, everyone. Have a good night.